Welcome to this space of stillness. Before we begin our journey into the glass walls of the midnight greenhouse, take a moment to settle your body. Adjust your pillows. Feel the weight of your blankets pressing gently against you like a warm embrace. Take a slow breath in, counting to 4, and let it out even slower, feeling your shoulders drop away from your ears. You are standing before a tall, wrought iron door. It is painted a deep forest green, nearly black in the moonlight. As you place your hand on the cool metal handle, the world behind you fades away. The noise of the day, the lists of things to do, they stay outside. You press the door open. A rush of warm, humid air meets your skin. It smells of damp earth, crushed mint, and old wood. You step inside, and the door clicks shut with a soft, final thud. You are safe. You are home. The floor beneath you is a patchwork of ancient brick and soft, cushioning moss. As you walk, the sound of your steps is swallowed by the lush greenery. To your left, giant monster leaves lean over the path, their silhouettes looking like friendly giants in the dark. The greenhouse is vast, a cathedral of glass reaching up towards the stars. Tonight, the moon is full, casting a silvery glow that turns every leaf into a shard of hammered silver. You see a small wooden bench ahead, tucked between 2 lemon trees. The air here is slightly cooler, carrying the faint sweet scent of citrus zest. Reach out and touch a leaf. It is waxy and cool. Everything here is breathing. Everything here is resting. Listen to the roof. Thousands of tiny glass panes are catching the rain. It is a symphony written just for you. Tap, 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 slide. The rhythm is unpredictable, yet perfectly soothing. You look up, and through the glass you see the clouds moving slowly across the moon. Inside, you are dry. You are perfectly warm. A small copper lantern hangs from a hook nearby. The candle inside is low, its flame dancing gently, casting long amber shadows that play across the terracotta pots. You notice the detail of the pots. Some are weathered with white minerals, others are new and smooth. Each one holds a life, a root, a dream. You feel your own roots sinking into the stillness of this room. You continue deeper into the heart of the greenhouse, where the air grows thicker and sweeter. You reach the fern grotto. Here, a small stone basin catches a steady trickle of water from a hidden pipe. Plink, plink, plunk. The sound is hypnotic. The ferns here are ancient. Lace-like fronds uncurl in slow motion sensitive to the humidity. There are maidenhair ferns with their wire-thin black stems and heavy prehistoric Boston ferns that hang from the rafters. You find a velvet-covered armchair nestled in this corner, an oddity for a greenhouse, but it belongs here. It is deep, soft, and smells faintly of lavender. You sit, you sink, you let the sound of the trickling water wash over your thoughts. As you rest in the armchair, a new scent drifts towards you. It is the night-blooming jasmine. These tiny star-shaped white flowers only open when the sun has gone down. They wait for the quiet. They wait for the moon. Close your eyes in your mind's eye. Imagine the scent, heavy, floral, and calming. It fills your lungs, acting like a gentle sedative for your nervous system. Every cell in your body is beginning to mirror the plants around you. You are not required to move. You are not required to think. You are simply a part of this garden. The rain continues its steady vigil on the glass, protecting your peace. You rise from the velvet chair, feeling heavier and more relaxed than before. You walk toward the central gallery where the glass ceiling arches highest. Here, the structure is supported by ornate white pillars, their paint slightly chipped by time, revealing a history of quiet years. High above, a vine of ivy has wound itself around the rafters, its tiny tendrils reaching out like delicate fingers. You realize how slowly everything moves here. A plant doesn't hurry to grow. It simply exists, unfolding one cell at a time. Apply that same patience to yourself. There is no rush to find sleep. It is a shore you are drifting toward naturally, carried by a gentle current. Your breath is that current, in and out. To your right is a long, sturdy workbench made of dark oak. It is covered with the tools of a quiet life. A row of small clay pots stacked neatly from largest to smallest. A wooden crate filled with dry silver sand. On the corner of the bench sits an old ceramic mug, long since gone cold, with a sprig of dried rosemary resting beside it. You run your fingers over the wood of the bench. It is smooth and cool, worn down by decades of gentle work. This is a place where things are nurtured. Think of your mind as this bench. Clear away the clutter of the day, leaving only the smooth, clean surface of the present moment. The rain outside is washing the world clean, and inside you are doing the same. Beyond the workbench lies the orchid wing. This area is kept in deeper shadow, to protect the sensitive blooms. The orchids hang from the ceiling in wooden slats, their roots dangling in the air like silver threads, drinking the humidity. The colors here are muted by the dark, deep purples that look like midnight and pale whites that glow like pearls. Their shapes are complex and beautiful even in the dim light. They don't need the sun to be magnificent. They are beautiful in the dark, just as you are finding peace in this shadow. Notice how your heartbeat has slowed to match the rhythm of the dripping water at the far end of the hall. Steady, slow, calm. In the center of the greenhouse, surprisingly, stands a tall bookshelf carved directly into a stone pillar. It isn't filled with stories of the world, but with journals of the garden. Large leather-bound books with yellowed pages recording the dates the first roses bloomed or when the rain lasted for 7 days straight. You pull a book halfway from the shelf, feeling the texture of the leather. It feels grounded and solid. You don't need to read the words to feel the wisdom of the garden. The garden knows that seasons change and that rest is just as important as growth. Winter, night, and sleep are the foundations of everything that blooms. Allow yourself to enter your own winter now, a season of deep, quiet rest. At the very back of the greenhouse is a small cast iron stove used to keep the tropical plants warm on chilly nights. The fire inside has burned down to a deep, pulsing orange glow. There are no flickering flames now, just the steady, radiating heat of the embers. You stand near it, feeling the warmth seep into your bones. It starts at your toes and moves up through your legs, your chest, and your shoulders. The heat is like a heavy blanket. You watch the orange light reflect off the glass panes nearby. Outside, the world is dark and cold, but here you are encased in a bubble of warmth and safety. You are protected by the glass, by the heat, and by the silence. In the center of the next wing lies a circular reflection pool, its surface as still as a dark mirror. You walk to the edge and look down. You can't see the bottom, only the stars reflected on the surface. The path leads you to the arid section. Here, the humidity drops and the air feels crisp and dry. Giant saguaro and round golden barrel cacti stand like silent sentinels. They are masters of endurance, living on almost nothing, standing perfectly still for 100 years. There is a unique silence here, a dry, sturdy quiet. You find a heavy wooden chair carved from cedar. As you sit, you feel the strength of the desert plants. They don't strive, they simply endure. You realize that you don't need to do anything to achieve sleep. You simply have to wait, like a cactus waits for the rain. It will come. It is already on its way. You look up and see the hanging gardens. Long tresses of string of pearls and Spanish moss drape down from the iron catwalks above like green waterfalls. They sway almost imperceptibly in the rising heat from the floor. As you walk beneath them, the long vines brush against your shoulders, a touch as light as a cobweb. It feels like a blessing from the garden. You feel a sense of weightlessness, as if you too could float upward and rest among the rafters, tucked away in the shadows of the ceiling. The world below is far away. The ground is just a memory. You are drifting in the green. The moonlight shifts, turning the greenhouse into a world of deep blues and indigos. This is the blue hour of the night, where the shadows are softest. You come across a rare flower that only blooms in total moonlight. Its petals are a pale, translucent blue, and it seems to pulse with a faint light of its own. You lean in close. The flower smells like vanilla and old silk. It is a reminder that even in the darkest hours, there is beauty growing quietly. You don't need to see the sun to know the world is good. Your eyes are getting heavier now. The blue light is a balm, soothing the behind of your eyes, smoothing out the tension in your forehead. Deep in the corner, hidden behind a curtain of weeping fig, you find the gardener's secret alcove. There is a small cot covered in thick, woolly blankets, and a low table with a candle that has burned down to a pool of wax. This is the heart of the sanctuary. It is the quietest spot in the entire structure. You lie down on the cot just for a moment, you tell yourself. The blankets are heavy and smell of sun-dried linen. Through the glass wall right next to your head, you can see the rain washing the leaves of a rose bush outside. You are tucked away in a glass cocoon. You are invisible to the world, but the garden sees you. and it welcomes your rest. As you lie in the gardener's alcove, the rain intensifies. It isn't a storm of wind or violence, but a steady, heavy pour that creates a wall of sound around the greenhouse. It feels as though the rest of the world has been washed away, leaving only this glass sanctuary floating in a sea of gray and silver. The sound is a physical weight pressing you deeper into the mattress. Breathing cue. Match your breath to the rhythm of the rain. Inhale for 4 beats of the droplets. Hold for 2. And exhale as the water slides down the glass. Each drop carries away a tiny fragment of your tension. You are becoming as fluid as the water, sinking, settling, and letting go. You eventually rise, feeling as though you are moving through water, your limbs heavy and slow. You wander into the bonsai grove. Here, trees that are hundreds of years old are kept in miniature form. They are twisted into beautiful wind-swept shapes, growing in shallow ceramic bowls. These trees have seen 1,000 nights like this one. They are experts at stillness. As you look at a tiny ancient pine, you realize that time moves differently here. Minutes feel like hours. Hours feel like a single long breath. You find yourself standing perfectly still, mirroring the trees. The silence of the bonsai is infectious. It settles in your chest, a quiet, golden kernel of peace. In a small clearing between the ferns, you find an old stone sundial. In the daylight, it tracks the sun, but tonight it is bathed in the shadows of the moon. Moss has grown over the Roman numerals, softening the edges of time itself. You trace the cool stone with your finger. Under the moon, the sundial has no shadow. Time has stopped here. There is no late and there is no early. There is only the now. The moss feels like damp velvet against your skin. You realize that you don't need to track the hours anymore. The only clock that matters is the slow, steady beat of your own heart. You enter the tropical dome, where the air is thick with warm mist. Tiny pipes along the floor release a soft hiss of steam to keep the orchids and palms hydrated. The mist hangs in the air, catching the moonlight and turning it into a soft, glowing fog. The warmth here is tropical and deep. It uncurls the last bits of tightness in your lower back and neck. You walk through the fog and it feels like a warm cloth draped over your skin. You can barely see the glass walls now. The world is just soft green shapes and white mist. It is a cocoon within a cocoon. You are drifting weightless in a cloud of warm herbal air. The path turns toward the back of the greenhouse, where the glass is tinted a natural indigo. The plants here are dark, deep purple smoke bushes and black-leafed clovers. This is the path of shadows. Walking here feels like walking through the sky itself. Your feet move over dark pebbles that crunch softly, a grounded, earthy sound. Crunch, crunch. Each step is a deliberate act of relaxation. You are moving toward the deepest part of the night, the part where the dreams are born. The indigo light is heavy on your eyelids, pulling them down, inviting you to close them and see the garden from the inside. The path opens up to a small, hidden stream that flows slowly through the greenhouse floor. The water is clear and reflects the faintest lantern light, making the stones at the bottom appear smooth and silver. This stream doesn't seem to lead anywhere. It simply exists, flowing in a loop of perpetual motion. You sit by the water's edge. The sound of the stream is the sound of time moving without hurry. Relaxation cue. Imagine you are placing every remaining worry onto a smooth gray stone and gently dropping it into the stream. Watch it tumble away, carried by the water, until it disappears from your sight. Let the stream do the work. Your mind is now empty and clear, reflecting only the stillness of the night. The rain outside has now dwindled to a near silence, leaving only the soft internal sounds of the building itself. The old metal structure is humming very gently, a sound too low to register as noise, but perfectly felt as vibration. It is the sound of rest. The whole greenhouse is breathing around you. The plants release their moisture. The glass holds the warmth. You are enclosed in a machine of comfort. This low-frequency vibration is deeply calming, settling your internal rhythms. You feel heavy, grounded, and immensely peaceful. Allow your body to become part of the structure, strong, still, and perfectly held. Between two massive, ancient palm trees, a large woven hammock is strung. It looks incredibly inviting. You walk toward it and gently lie down, allowing the thick canvas to conform perfectly to the shape of your body. The hammock sways barely an inch to the left, then barely an inch to the right. This gentle rocking motion is the oldest cradle in the world. You are suspended between the sky and the earth, swaying softly in the warmth. You are weightless, effortless, and cared for. There is nothing to balance, nothing to hold on to, just the soft, unending rhythm of the sway. As you lie in the hammock, the greenhouse releases its most potent scent yet. A mix of old cedar, clean glass, and the unique sweet aroma of night-blooming moonflowers. It is the scent of deep sleep. Inhale deeply. Feel the soothing perfume fill your lungs. Exhale slowly, letting the fragrance settle your mind. Imagine this fragrance is a fine powder of pure tranquility, coating every surface of your inner world. You are becoming drowsy now. The thoughts that linger are too slippery to catch, floating past like leaves on a stream. You don't need to chase them. You are safe where you are. The copper lantern hanging nearest to the hammock is seeming to dim. The candle is nearly spent, its flame struggling for a moment before rising again, casting a soft, flickering pulse of light. This flickering is the last visual your mind needs to hold on to. Watch it in your imagination, the light growing weak, then strong, weak, then strong. It is the boundary between waking and sleeping. As the flame dips low, your consciousness dips low. As it brightens, your dream state brightens. This gentle, dying light is guiding you tenderly into the dark velvet of rest. You are still in the hammock, but you are barely aware of the boundaries of your body anymore. You are floating. The darkness is not empty. It is full of soft green light and the warm, embracing air of the greenhouse. A figure appears at the edge of the light. It is the gardener, but they are wrapped in shadows, silent and calm. They do not need to speak. They simply gesture toward a hidden door, a gate made entirely of woven moonlight and mist. This gate leads you to your deepest, most peaceful sleep. The gardener is your guide, ensuring you pass through safely. There are no worries to carry through this gate. You leave your wakefulness behind, along with any lingering thoughts. You are now moving into the world of pure, deep rest. You step through the gate of mist. It is like passing through a soft curtain. On the other side, the air is crystalline and cool. The sound of the rain is completely gone, replaced by a perfect velvet silence. This is the place your body craves. Imagine your mind is an empty, still pool under a dark sky. The surface is perfectly flat. There are no ripples. There are no reflections. Just profound, endless quiet. Your breathing is slow and shallow, the breath of a person deeply asleep. You are protected by the glass walls of the dream, held safe until morning. Though you are entering the cool silence of sleep, you hold the memory of the warmth, the heat from the little iron stove, the sun-dried scent of the blankets, and the humidity of the tropical air. This memory is a comfortable anchor, a reassurance that you are safe and warm, even in the darkness. Let your consciousness dim now, like the lantern that finally burned down to a pool of wax. The light is gone. The journey is over. You are no longer listening, but dreaming. You are in the safest place in the world, the heart of the midnight greenhouse. Allow yourself to sink deeper and deeper into the softest darkness. Every muscle in your body is now completely slack. Your mind is quiet. You are traveling beyond this story, beyond this greenhouse, into the beautiful, restorative quiet of your own perfect sleep. Good night. Rest now.